Good evening guys, this is Chris at CF Photography and we're doing a RAW edit of the week for the FroKnowsPhoto.com forum, and it's RAW edit 55, I believe it's number 55, and it's of Avril Lavigne. Massive fan of Avril Lavigne, in fact had a poster of her up on the wall behind me where you see Brooklyn Bridge. I had a poster of her up there after I went to see her in Manchester, a concert gig that she did over there. Really good gig. Big fan of hers. So as soon as I heard that Jared had put one of his photos up from the concert that he shot, was it Jingle Bells or something? I knew I had to have a quick edit. So hopefully I'm going to do the photo justice, and we'll see how we get on. So we pop over to Lightroom. We're going to pretty much stay in Lightroom today. That's not Avril Lavigne. That is Harley Quinn from the Batman Batman Arkham Asylum. That's one of the files that I imported along with Avril today. Right, fantastic photo. I'm sure you've all seen the video of Jared taking it, also with that little contour cam that he's got on his camera, so you can see how quick, and absolute massive credit to Jared for actually framing that in such a short space of time and getting it absolutely spot on. So very impressed. Also like to know how he did with the framing and recomposition. So did he said he had it on continual focus, but did he have the center focus point and then recompose, or did he actually have his focus points up at the top to focus in quickly so that he didn't have to worry about recomposing? Interesting to see what he thought, or if you do listen to this video or watch the video, Jared, just give me a quick comment, because in times like this, when it is a very quick photo opportunity, you don't really want to be messing around with the focus points and recomposing. So yeah, interesting to see how he did that. I know he motor drove through it to get the 3, but yeah, fantastic. So here's the photo that we've got anyway. I'm going to have a quick play around. Things that we can see straight away, I absolutely love the red microphone, so we're going to see if we can make that pop. We're going to see if we can get a little bit more contrast on the face, bring the hair out a little bit, maybe slightly warmer, and also I just want to see what fill that can do. But recently, when I've been editing my photos, I've been trying to find out whether there's a difference in the way that you go down these, go down the sliders and edit towards the sliders. So obviously the exposure is pretty good. We're just going to check the clipping. Now here we've got overexposed areas here, so rather than dropping the exposure down, which is obviously a bad idea anyway, or moving the recovery, this is the sort of thing I've been wondering about recently. Will it go away if I move the contrast? If I put the contrast up, it actually makes it bigger. So if I push the contrast back to where it was, move it back up anyway because I'm going to need it up there. Are they going to go down if we move the blacks? No, so pretty much the only way we're going to get rid of that is by recovery or exposure. I don't want to touch the exposure because it's perfectly, really well exposed. So we're just going to push the recovery up. But one thing I have been noticing on the recovery is been messing around with some facial features. So if you notice, I push it all the way up, brings out a lot of dull detail in here. So we don't want to go too far. So we're literally just going to go until all the red's pretty much gone, and then we know we're safe. So that sorted out all the overexposed. Don't mind about the blowouts down here. Right, so slightly warmer. With the Wacom pen, it's actually quite tough to do very small adjustments to this. So what we can do is if we click on the temp actual word, and you can see you can modify it with the plus minus key. So we're just going to plus it up, see if we can make it slightly warmer. This should bring out some of the blonde hair, just really make it pop. I think that is, let's go a little bit further, so let's go to the extreme and see. So we're into the 5,000s now. That's not too bad. I don't think that's ruined, taken away. And again with the tint, I'm just going to push the tint up slightly, keep some colour in the skin, probably a little bit too much, so again just click on the tint and then pull it back a little bit. Okay, so exposure, I said I wasn't going to touch the exposure, but what I do want to see if I can do is if I put the fill light, how much detail actually comes back. Wow. Okay, so let's just go to the extreme for the moment to see what detail's there. So we've got a blowout around here, It's really brought back a lot of detail in the hair, obviously blown the face out. I don't think that's going to come back with it if we move some black up, but what we can do is split the difference just to bring, so if we're right down here you can't quite see. I really like the messy hairstyle of Avril, so if we pop it up just to see if we can bring out some of this hair, push the blacks up to compensate a little bit. I don't like touching the brightness really, so we're just going to pull back on that just to hold the recovery as well, making sure we're not underexposing. Obviously we've massively clipped on the darks. Right, clarity. Don't want to start losing details in the eye with this, so just a little bit. Incredible. This is shot at ISO 3200. Really good capability. The D3S is fantastic stuff. Right, zoom back out again. Vibrance. Got to pump the vibrance up. Get that colour in there. We're also gonna scroll down to the HSLs in a second and see if we can get that red. Let's do that now. Let's just make that pop out a little bit more. We want to see if we can touch a little bit with the eye as well. If we click this here, that is targeted adjustment. So we want to just increase the saturation on that. You'll see it's moving. If we go all the way up to the top, you'll see it's moving the blue and the aqua sliders, because that's the colour that is associated with her eyes. Just move up a little bit further, you'll see a little bit of blowout in that eye as well. Not too bad at all. Now, tone curve, zoom back out. Oops. Click off that. Just make sure we didn't change anything on there. No, it was just a single click. Right, tone curve. Zoom back out on this. Out you go, Avril. Thank you. Right, let's see. And what I don't want to do really is bump that. Although it's popped the contrast out a little bit, what I want to do is I want to see if we can retain a little bit of the detail in the dark. So we're going to push the highlights and the lights a little bit, and now just want to put on the clipping again. Make sure that that's definitely on, because I don't want to blow out that. So if we go down too far, you lose a bit too much detail. I'm not a big fan of losing too much detail. There we go. Just want to make sure that we're holding detail in the face. Don't want to blow that face out too much. See, it's starting to go. So pull back a little bit on the darks. Just move the shadows as well. Push the shadows up slightly. That's looking smarter. Let's look at the before and after. So there's the before with the clipping path in. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Cup of tea. There's the after. Yeah, I'm liking where this is going. Definite opportunity to go black and white on this, so we're just going to tweak this a little bit further. Let's see if we can just pull back and just keep some detail in this up here. So let's just pull back on the fill light to see if we can hold that detail in her forehead. Maybe some contrast as well. Pull back out, keeping that detail in the forehead. Right, and how we go. Already in on the eye on this, so some sharpening to go on this. Push it up until we can just see a little bit of, and then we'll mask off. Don't think we'll be able to. Shouldn't need to mask off too far here. I just want to mask off for the edge detail rather than the textures. A lot of the photos I've been doing recently I've been masking off quite high, but this one let's get the detail right in there. Noise reduction. Let's just move it up just slightly. Where was that spot? It was just under her nose, wasn't it? So let's get in under her nose. That was where I was noticing the noise a little bit. That will do just about there. Noise reduction, don't go too far, keep the detail in. And let's put lens correction. Obviously, I've been putting this in every time now. It seems to make a difference. It's doing something, so it's obviously correcting for something. So whack that in. There we go. Right. Let's go back up to the top again. Cha-ching. Anything else I can think of doing on that? That is just a fabulous photo. Let's just pop that fill light up a little bit further, see if we can just bring out this top of the hair strands. Brilliant. Now, if I was going to pop into Photoshop, which I'm not going to do this time, I want to stick it as much as I can with Lightroom, I might just bring out a bit on the eyes, and I still not a big fan of this blown out forehead. I wonder how I can get that back in. Let's not worry about that at the moment. Anyway, there's my colour edit. So what we're going to do, take a snapshot of that. That is going to be called colour. Ching, there we go. I'm not going to crop, purely because I don't think there's an angle or a crop there that's going to improve on where it is at the moment. Nothing down there really. I don't think it's going to work if we swap it over to an angle across here. And obviously with the D3S as well. Oops, sorry. With the D3S, the quality of the actual photos is high enough to allow you to crop, but you don't really want to lose the quality. Right, so black and white. Let's hit black and white. You ready? Ching. Straight away. Looking pretty smart. Let's pop the contrast up a little bit further. Yes, yes, yes. Cup of tea for that. Let's have a look at the tone curve. So tone curve here, you notice if you remember, we were pushing details up, so trying to take the shadows out a little bit. Let's push that back now. So let's put that shadows back in to really make a pop out. Darks down. Oh, look at this. Just starting to lose some clipping. See how close that was to being clipped on the forehead there. This is just sexual. That is a hot photo. Now what I would be quite interested to do is see if we can bring this out to white. There we go, look. So really simple. Select the red slider here, pop that up and make that pop out. Make the microphone pop out. It's also going to pop these out as well, but just to bring out some details, because obviously you can see if it goes completely black, you kind of lose a little bit of the leading line. So let's push that up. We don't want to lose too much detail around everything else. There we go. Maybe pull that a little bit further back because her lips have gone a little bit blown out now. I don't think this is going to need much more. To be fair, that is looking pretty sweet. Let's turn off the clipping, get rid of those red dots. Should we try a sepia? Let's put in a split tone sleep sepia. Red. Really, yes, 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 yes. There it is, there it is. Now that, just pull that back very, very slightly. That is a really, really nice looking black and white, in my opinion. That's sweetness. It does help that she's hot as hell as well. Right, so we're going to take a snapshot of that. That is going to be my B and W black and white. That's my black and white red edit. And create that as a snapshot. We're going to export these now. I'm going to put them up on Flickr, stick them up on the FroKnowsPhoto website, and there you go. Thank you very much for watching. This is Chris at CF Photography. FroKnowsPhoto Raw Edit of the Week, number 55, the amazing Avril Lavigne. Thank you very much, guys. See you later.